Being what?
Being gay.
Tell us about some of the attacks.
Once I was rushed outside college in a park and I was beat up badly. The whole of my face had black eyes, and on another occasion I was sliced in my leg by my house. I was bottled on another occasion by one of my old friends, and I've also been bricked, which made me have to go to hospital.
And this was primarily due to the fact that these people found out you were gay?
Yeah.
So if I waved a magic wand here and I could make you straight, would you want me to wave it over your head and make you straight, or would you rather stay gay?
I'd rather be straight. It's a better life, it's easier. Not a better life, but it's easier.
What about this has affected you in ways of, have you ever tried suicide? Have you ever thought about ending it all? Does it seem an easier way out?
Yeah, I've attempted twice. I've cut up the whole of my arms. And I've tried to jump over a bridge and got caught over London Bridge.
But I just want to say thank you so much for coming today. You've been extremely brave. I hope life gets better for you. And if any way I can help, or anybody I know can help, then everybody needs a shoulder to cry on. All right, so come on. You take care of yourself. Meeting Joe today was, yeah, it brought back a lot of memories from when I was young, trying to deal with it, trying to get support, wanting the support of my friends, but you know, not wanting to tell them or not wanting to know the truth for the fear of being hurt by them. It brings it all back, and you know, I want to be able to say to people that everything's going to be all right. But I knew when I was in Joe's position, if somebody had said that to me, it meant nothing at the time. And the rise in homophobic attacks are very scary.
Mr. Hick was attacked outside this nightclub, The Edge in St Mary's Road in Southampton, popular with gay men.
First, a homophobic killer is facing life behind bars after his attack on a gay couple left one man dead and the other fighting for his life.
A 24-year-old man has been killed on London's Clapham Common in an apparent homophobic attack.
Jody Dabrowski was a bar manager and had lived in London for over 4 years.
Police say they're searching for two men in their 20s in connection with the murder.
Jody's murder shocked the nation and fueled worldwide outrage. 5 years later, I wanted to know more about Jody's murder. Just what had motivated two men to take an innocent life away from a total stranger. His mum, Cherie, agreed to meet me and gave her first televised interview about that night.
He'd been to visit a friend that evening, and the next thing that I'm aware of is several people heard him screaming as he was being chased across Clapham Common, which is just sort of near Battersea, where he'd come from. And two men were chasing him and screaming just vile, homophobic obscenities. The usual, we don't want pufters around here, we're going to kill you, you queer. I don't like saying these words, to be honest.
Yeah, no, they're not. I understand what you mean, they're not.
I just have this, if it wasn't for two policemen who held Jody's hand, those would be the last words he heard.
Jody was so badly beaten his family didn't recognise his body, and he had to be identified by his fingerprints. Two men, Thomas Pickford and Scott Walker, were sentenced to a minimum of 28 years for his murder.
It was brutal, merciless, vile, and the build-up of language, the abusive language while they were doing it, and they weren't going to stop. And apparently, according to what we've heard, attacks on gay men in particular are generally more brutal and vile than ordinary attacks, if you like.
Hearing Jody's story was truly heartbreaking. After meeting Cherie, I kind of felt that I'd been protected in my own little bubble of happiness, and Sherry's story is unfortunately a story of the real world, in the fact that gay men and gay women live in fear of attacks and ultimately live in fear of their lives. Amazingly, it seems the economic state of our country could be contributing to a rise in gay bashing.
I think we're seeing a rise in hate crime in 2010 because people are angry and frustrated, and they don't know who to take their anger and frustration out against. We're living in very, very uncertain times. And how do you direct it against banks or MPs or multinationals? So instead of that, they find a minority group like homosexuals and they direct all their aggression towards them instead.
I was about to discover for myself that homophobia is alive and well in 2010. I recently made the move from rugby union to league and was happy to sign up with the Wrexham's Celtic Crusaders. But at my first away game in Castleford, I was subjected to homophobic abuse from a small section of the crowd. It made me sad and angry to think that there were kids in that crowd who had to hear that kind of venom from so-called adults. It really was a wake-up call that there are people out there who despise gays, particularly in the professional sporting world.
Over the last few years, I've advised 2-3 gay, bisexual footballers not to come out, which was very much their thoughts as well. I just confirmed what they were saying to me, that if they did, their careers would be over. And the reason for that, reality, because football is still in the dark ages, and they felt, and I agreed, that if they were to stand up and be counted, then that would be the end of their careers.
So, how does he keep these footballers' identities a secret from the fans?
Well, the way I've done it with major stars worldwide in movies and television for 40 years. You know, by coming up with a media image which would take any suspicion away.
Saturday afternoon, and Stoke City and Manchester City are playing an FA Cup game at City's ground. Back in 2006, Manchester City was the first professional club to join a list of gay-friendly employees as recognised by Stonewall, the gay rights organisation. But what do the fans think?
No, I wouldn't have a problem with the gay football whatsoever. I think everybody should have equal rights. I can't see what the problem is. The guy's here to play football like everybody else. Good luck to him.
A gay footballer? I hate gays.
Yeah.
Same as hate gays. But I wouldn't have a problem with a gay footballer playing football as long as he's good enough.
And you want
he could be a gay for City, no problem. But I hate gays.
If he was a good goal scorer, no problem. If he was crap, yeah.
Gay football is not for me.
Not in the showers.
No. Not for me at all. Don't like him.
Go to Old Trafford, there's loads.
If he's doing the business on the park, no worries at all.
Do you think he get a lot of stick off the opposition?
Yes.
In 1980, Justin Fashanu was signed by Nottingham Forest for £1 million. Like me, he led a closeted double life as a gay man, but in 1990 he publicly came out.
People come to realise that gay people aren't going to jump on people in the showers or all this type of stuff.
He was and remains the only professional footballer to be open about being gay. But it came with a high price. His potentially brilliant football career was cut short, some claim by the stress of living a lie, and in 1998 he killed himself. The Football Association say they are committed to stamping out homophobia in the game.
Yeah, whatever. Queer scum. What?
And produced a shocking and hard-hitting film.
Bender. Bummer. Shitlifter.
A major launch at Wembley Stadium in February was cancelled, much to the disappointment of gay rights groups.
He's queer! He's bad! His ass is up, You're queer! I'm your dying age, you scum!
However, I welcome the FA's initiative and efforts to bring an end to homophobia in the beautiful game. Back on the streets of Wigan, we're still out with Nick and Nathaniel. So what did our hidden cameras capture? So how do Nathaniel and Nick feel at the end of the afternoon?
A lot of people tend to say that, oh, we're a fair and equal society and that, and homophobia doesn't exist. But if if just doing this as an experiment and we did feel uncomfortable doing it in a public place, that's, you know, we're not equal to everyone else. We're not equal to a heterosexual couple.
And do you think that young people today, when you consider what you've just experienced,